time ago, let me tell a story. A long time ago, there was this really awesome tool. I'm going to say like 1997, maybe, called Tripwire. And if you search for Tripwire today, security tool, you find a bunch of stuff. And before I tell the rest of my story, I want to make sure I'm actually streaming. Am I streaming? Yes, I'm streaming. Okay. Well, so here's how it goes. So this tool called Tripwire was one of many security tools back in the day when a thing called Bastille used to be good. Bastille, BAS, it's like a French word for castle or fort. And used to use that to like harden your systems and stuff like that and make yourself all safe. We're talking, was it probably 98, 99. And there was these great security tools, and that was back when I was really into security and doing performance assessments on Nike.com and blah, blah, blah. Anyway, yeah, and one of the great tools of the day was Tripwire. And someday I'll tell the story again of how I caught a hacker by using Tripwire who had invaded my system. Twice, actually. A different hacker. There was another hacker. Never actually found him. I just re-imaged my system because I hadn't run Bastille on the system. And the other one was Tripwire. Now, to maybe back up a little bit and tell you why we're having this conversation. So this morning, I had rebooted my machine yesterday because somehow after putting library, you guys know what library is. So library is a streaming service. Not a streaming service. Library is God, I get roasted for saying that. Library.tv is a platform for exchange that uses blockchain. And, you guys know I don't like blockchain that much, but it's still, I just think it's a flawed technology. It's got a maximum lifetime and blah, blah, blah. But still, this is a service for sharing that lets people like organize their video and everything. Anyway, so I come in today and I found out that somehow I turned on some recording somehow, and I thought maybe I'd been hacked. And so then I went and I rebooted my machine and stuff, and I found that my YubiKey for my password wasn't working, and I was like, oh shit, my one swear word for this stream. And I was like, this is scaring me. And it turns out to be nothing. I just moved stuff around because of my GitLab identifiers and stuff. And so it was not a big deal at all. And so, yeah, I went ahead and, stop freaking out and calm down and thought, you know what, I need Tripwire. And the reason I need Tripwire is because Tripwire will tell you whenever anything changes on your machine. And so then I started looking for it again, and I've looked for it before and not been able to find it. There's a thing called Tripwire that you can download from APT or Arch or however you want to get it. But it's not the same thing. It's related to Postfix. It's a mail-related thing. And could be I've not remember the name right. I don't know, but I remember it as being Tripwire. Anyway, cybersecurity solutions for the enterprise. I think what happened is that this tiny little tool grew up into this big old company, which happens a lot, right? I mean, QT comes to mind, right? Because that was this tiny little thing, and now it's this big monstrous thing that's on every computer, dashboard and every car everywhere, and it's like just throwing out its open source license now and blah blah blah. It's funny how many open source projects grow up and become greedy, kind of like boomers. So when you look at what's going on here, the bottom line is that there is no Tripwire. Whoa. Maybe it's good karma. I just found something here. Look at this. Originally by Tripwire Inc. Okay, so there's the answer to this problem. This is actually what's happening here. I really want to make sure this is streaming. I'm a little bit paranoid that it's not, because I don't want to do it again. So I don't want to waste my time. So I'm going to go check. Bear with me. So yeah, there I am. I'm actually streaming. Good. Everybody's just asleep. Anyway, so yeah, it looks like it is true. The all-powerful Wikipedia has answered a question for us. I didn't realize there was an open source Tripwire. I hadn't searched for that before. So this is the tool that I used to use once upon a time. Let's see if we can find some more information about it. This article needs citations for verification. Okay, blah, blah, blah. Wow, when was this posted? 2 years ago. Wow. Okay. That's it? Yeah, there's nothing here. There's nothing here, people. Oh, wait, there it is. The open source Tripwire is a free software security and data integrity. Oh, wait. There's a link. Hey, Barnesy. Integrity tool for monitoring and learning specific. Blah, blah, blah. The project is based on code originally written by Tripwire. We actually found one. Maybe I don't need to make one. Maybe I can just fork this project because I actually want to add some stuff to it. Let's do that. Let's just look at this really quick. Oh my gosh. We're definitely going to save you. I'm going to save you for reading. Am I already monitoring this? I have unread notifications. Okay, fine. Don't want that. I don't use this very much. I'm going to star this repo. Hey, look at how few stars. This is such a great tool, man. S Shaw 1. GPL2. Good. Clang. Are you kidding me? You know what? I want to rewrite one of these tools in either Go or Rust. How's it going, Barzy? I am good. I just had if you backtrack a little bit in the video, I talk about why I panicked a little bit this morning because I thought I'd been hacked. It's inevitable. I think it's the universe reminding me that I need to lock myself down if I'm going to be doing this much streaming and stuff. So that I'm not, the number one way to get hacked, by the way, is to download software that's shitty or have somebody in your house download bad software and have it infect your whole network. I have hard lines and stuff to protect against Wi-Fi hacking, but that's the main reason you're going to get compromised. Anyway, I thought I was compromised. I thought, man, I can't even tell if my system's been compromised. And I was like, what have I done? How have I allowed myself to become so lax now that I'm streaming? So it put the fear of God in me. And so I'm actually thinking about implementing some kind of blue team detection methods on my systems. People were probably saying, well, you should have done that in the first place. Saying, yeah, you're right. So yeah, hey, paint artist. So here we go. Generating keys. The first step is to generate site and local key files. So it looks like the old original Tripwire is still alive and well, and then I may not actually need to create my own. I'm going to anyway because I want to make it in Go. Again, I'm not gonna. Hey, yeah, it's been a while. Stuff's coming around. Payne, don't worry. Quint. Lots of social networks. Yeah. And it's a good idea for everybody to do this. It's really, really fun, actually. There's really only two things you need to protect yourself, besides a good password manager, of course. You need to be able to tell what's changed on your computer, and you need to be able to tell, in terms of files on the file system, and you need to be able to tell what's talking. Now, I'm not talking about what's open, what's, what can be scanned and stuff. That's a good thing too. That's like, run discovery on yourself. But more importantly, what is communicating outward? And if you really want to get crazy, you can actually put an outbound firewall and prevent anything from talking to the outside world from your computer. And that's the super way to protect you, because then nothing can open up a reverse server to you. Have you done any hack the box? I did a couple of those where you have to set up a server and then, because you can't directly connect to it. So you open up a back door and then you connect to the back door. The back door connects to you actually, and then you tunnel through that. And it's a really common way to get into a system. But you can shut all of that down by having a firewall. But more importantly, just knowing what's on your system. You don't have to really freak out with your firewalls and stuff, as long as you every day or two, you can like get a report in your mail or something and go say, hey, what's changed here? Is there any new files? And this is how I caught the hacker who tried to set himself up in my /dev, and I caught him before he set everything up and Trojaned everything. And when they Trojan you, then you can't see anything because LS and everything doesn't show up. So you want a solution that doesn't depend on any common commands, because those things are the first things to get Trojan once somebody's got a rootkit on your system. So this little accidental scare this morning that I had by thinking somebody might have invaded my system made me think, I got to put this on here. And frankly, I think other people probably should as well. This looks to me like Tripwire is the same. In fact, TW admin, there you go. This is interesting. It's like flashback. In fact, when I started this video today, I did not anticipate finding this. This was a real lucky find on the video. I thought it had been gone. I thought it had been consumed by Tripwire Inc. and this was forever going to not be allowed to be used. Because it had been made into something else. Man, it's got really great reporting. It looks like it's got a binary report file. Once again, another reason to make Pegin so that I can write a query language for my Tripwire results. Yeah. And this is the kind of thing that TJ would probably be interested in too with his Apex stuff. I'd love to probably talk to him about that. Testing email configuration. I don't need to do any of this stuff. So this has got a lot of extra stuff. Oh shit, it's C++, of course. And this dude. Okay, if somebody wants, I'm going to put it on the wish list right now. I'm going to put it on the wish list right now, and then I'm going to make it when I get time. And I'm going to scope it out right now. I'm going to carve out some space for it. I doubt very seriously that Nark is available on GitHub. I doubt it. I doubts it. /Nark. Yeah, there's a Nark already. Wired? Long-time Cocoa and Rails coder. Okay, well, I mean, I'm not going to judge. You can never judge anybody by their repo anyway. A lot of times it's so out of date. I bet you there's a Nark on GitLab, though. Nope, there already is. There's a Nark. Well, that's fine. Since December 13th, 2018. Relatively new user. Anyway, so we can still make it, right? So, and I'm going to make it, actually. Just not right now. But I am going to carve out space for it, which I tend to do. Maybe rather than doing that, I'm going to go ahead and just make a... just going to make a wish list thing really quick. So bear with me, particularly because I want people to see what's out there and maybe start it without me. I'm going to mention again, I'm on library now, lbry.tv, if you want to go there instead of YouTube or wherever. That's kind of a nice backup because... reasons. What am I doing? I haven't woken up fully yet, even though I've been up for a long time. All right, so I'm making a blog entry. What the Rob? Pay attention to what you're doing. Okay, here we go. So, Nark, an open source Tripwire replacement, as if I couldn't type that. But all right, the original Tripwire. Oopsie. I wonder if I have it in the other buffer. Let me see. Yep. The original Tripwire seems to be alive and well. However, it looks like it could use an update. And perhaps a rewrite in a modern language. Like Go or Rust. Yeah. I'd also like to focus on the reporting aspect above all, and add both inbound and outbound ports to the monitor. To Nark on, get it? to Nark on stuff that is not supposed to be on my system. How's it going? How's it going, Peter? So there we go. That's what I want. Let's build that real quick. Save. Added Nark to the wish list. And that's really it. I'm probably gonna drop the stream and come back, so I have a new title. I'm gonna get back to the pagan development a little bit here, but let me just wrap up. So for those of you just joining me, once upon a time, there was a tool called Tripwire that would tell you, you could set it up to run reports on your system, and it would send you an email or whatever, notifying you of any changes to your system. And by using this, you could detect hackers almost immediately. There's nothing you can do. You cannot hack a computer without creating files on the computer. It's almost impossible unless you'd have to take over an application. But those applications would have to change unless there's like a running daemon process that would go away as soon as that daemon process is restarted. In other words, detecting changed files, no matter where they are, is one of the best ways to detect whether you've been hacked. And you don't have to do any crazy signatures and all that shit that McAfee does. McAfee's a shit, by the way. Go read up on what's happening with that whole fiasco. I'm not talking about the company. I'm talking about the person. And, you know, so just being able to detect what has happened on the system is a big deal. And that's what Tripwire used to do. And then it became Tripwire Inc. And it kind of faded into obscurity. And I didn't know it even existed. And then I just found it on GitHub just now. But when I started the video, I was like, man, we need to make one of these. So that's the rerun on all of that. I also don't want it to be GPL2. So that's another reason to do it. I'm going to put that in my little notes here. This is the kind of thing that I think, I appreciate that it could be GPL2, but I want more wider adoption, including by people in the enterprise who can't use GPL2 through no fault of their own. They're not allowed. Their companies don't allow them to use it. So if you were to run GPL2 software as a part of, you know, like global services at IBM for something like that, you could get in trouble because, you know, you're getting less trouble at IBM global services because they use open source all the time because they're a service, they're not a product. But it's always one of those gray areas to use GPL software at all in the enterprise, which sucks because it allows Apple to rape BSD and not tell anybody that they are using them at all. But, you know, it is a little bit more permissive and get more adopted. So another consideration would be the license. So change from GPL v2 to Apache. That's all. Oops. That's all. And so, yeah, that's all that I was doing. I just want to talk about it. I do want to make it. I'm not quite to the position where I'm going to go ahead and carve out GitLab space for it and everything like that, because we already have we've already proven that there's not enough domain space out there to take it over. It'll have to be a subproject of some other project. So I'm not gonna mess with that. But in short, we need a tool that tells everybody what's changed on the system in order to catch potential hackers who've gotten on your system, such as the one who set up shop in my /dev some time ago, back when I was a young'un. Caught him though, definitely caught him, reported him, everything. So, what? IBM DE. Speaking of IBM, for IBM Cloud, and the author of the book Practical Cloud Security. Interesting. So at least he's used to using Tripwire. He looks like he's probably my age. Key Weston committed to the repository. Portland, good old Portland. This is where it came from, by the way. So the whole tool came from Portland. That's where Tripwire is. The Tripwire Inc. is. There's a lot of good. Yeah, there. See, there. That person's from Tripwire Inc. Tripwire Inc. It looks like a pretty good company. I just wish that, you know, everything didn't grow up and become, you know, annoyingly proprietary. I'm not against proprietary software. I just sometimes I wish that there were better things out there that weren't proprietary. So we can rewrite this. We can actually, because this is GPL2, we can completely rip the whole thing and copy its architecture and design to save ourselves a lot of time. They even wrote man pages, so we can look at all those kind of things. So that's an effort that I definitely want to do, and I put that in my wish list. If anybody else wants to do this, I don't care. I just want it done. I just want to be able to run it. And you can actually do this very thing with a find command and a shell script, right? I mean, you can simulate the entire thing with one find command. I wonder how hard that would be. So Let's do that. Let's do it with a single find command. Actually, no, because I don't want to have you see on my system. But all it would really need to be is it's the same one I did, like has changed, right? In fact, I already have. You know what? I already have one. Well, it would give me all the file names, and then what you have to do is you have to do the diff against the file. This is a pretty easy shell script to write. Let me challenge you to write that shell script. So I have has changed. I think I do. No, what is it? This is the way I do my automatic testing stuff. On change, gotcha. VIC on change. There's on change, and then has changed. Has changed is a list of all the files that have changed within a certain directory. Yep, and then changed. Yeah, there it is. There's the find. That's all you need. All you need to do is make a file and say, okay, show me every single file that has changed since this last file changed. And you just take those two things and diff them, and the ones that you just have to diff it against an exceptions list. So the way Tripwire works is you run. I could run this right now actually, and just run it on my root directory. Let's do that. Changed, and it'll give me all the files that have changed within my directory, right? There's a lot of them, obviously. And those have all changed since the last time I ran it. Now watch when I run it. There's not going to be anything there. Why? Did you see what just happened there? Here, you can have this program. I'll give it to you. Free of charge. You can have the change program. Okay? All it does is it makes a temp file that sees what's changed. Let's see what's changed since then. There you go. Well, man, look at all that Firefox stuff. Like updating its cache like crazy, right? So the only other thing you need to add to this script and to have effectively a simple tripwire is an exceptions list. And so then you create like a glob star and you pass it into find, right? And you say, hey, okay, anything that's in here, don't include it. And then you can like outlaw, because when you do this on your whole system, of course, you're going to have syslogs and everything are going to be firing all the time. And so what you say is you just say, okay, I don't care about anything that matches here and here and here, but anything else, I want to see it. And then you have, you just turn it on. In fact, you could even put it in a file that just sits there, you get in a daemon that just sits there and tells you. And you could, you could have that be in a file. Or you can come in every morning and see it. You can have it email yourself every day. That's what I used to do. Back when ProcMail was around and stuff. And so, yeah, it just tells you everything that's changed. What else do we have? Man, look at all that stuff that changed. Firefox is pretty busy in the background there. Oh, look, my WeChat changed because I wrote something to it. Ooh, what's this? Skype for Linux changed. Hey, I already have a Tripwire. Huzzah! Turns out I already had it. It's just find. So that is one of the better things about find. But it's still worth doing, I think. I still think this is worth. Have you ever noticed this? Look at this Firefox. All the Firefox and Chrome stuff is all using SQLite table. I was talking about SQLite the other day. Yeah, this is all using like flat file SQLite. These are all SQL databases. I just think that's really cool. Even your cookies are SQLite files now. They're all data, which means you can access them all using the SQLite from the command line if you want to go like do searches against your cookies and stuff. Yeah, pretty cool, huh? Anyway, so I'm running changed, and you can go get a copy of it there. What is this? Skylib? Who's Skylib? Skype for Linux. Skype for Linux cache transfer security. So if you want to look at what people are changing and stuff, this is the way to do it. So actually porting that into Go is not going to be very hard. And that might be like a weekend hackathon project. What hackathons do we have that are coming up, guys? Do we have any hackathons coming up? So I don't do hackathons very much. I think there's a GitLab hackathon coming up, right? No, is there? GitLab, I think, but that means you want to hack. I want to find like a generic cybersecurity hackathon. GitLab Hackathon is a virtual event. Contributing code documentation, translation, UX, to more to the GitLab. To the GitLab. I love using unnecessary articles, definite articles. That's why I put the in front of everything, in case you're wondering. So yeah, I'm pretty sure Netlify had one, and I know that DigitalOcean is having one. Hacktoberfest, right? DigitalOcean Hacktoberfest. But I don't know what that means, actually. I haven't ever really read about it. Let's go read about it really quick. What I'm looking for right now is an opportunity to do Nark. We could start Nark as a Hacktober-ish hackathon sort of thing. Is it Hacktoberfest? This is a kind of project that we could like carve out a day or two and just knock it out. You know what I mean? It's just like knock it out and then collaborate on it. You know, is it? So they do 4 pull requests to get a shirt. Oh my God. Well, does it matter what open source project it is? Because I've been trying to get people to do that a lot. So big that there are a lot of spam. Yeah. A lot of spam. Interesting. Like Painter said, a lot of spam. Well, you know, that's actually interesting because that's one of the ways that I try to help people when I mentor them is I've tried to keep a lot of open source projects running so people can contribute to those projects on a smaller scale until they can ramp up to some of the bigger projects. And that's how Ethan's made color pick, whatever. CPick, color picker. It's really cool. Do I have it on here still? I wonder if I have it on here still. CPick. Nope. Yes. Is it color pick? I forgot it. I forgot the name of it. Yeah, anyway. How's it going, Nell? So yeah, here, let me see what's changed since now. Let's go look for change now. Oh my gosh, look at that. I like go to sleep. Now, obviously I just need to make an exceptions list for my change list, huh? What if I just changed? Now you know what I'm you guys know what ends up happening now, right? 4 hours later. It's like all I need to do here is make an exception sort, and I'm good to go. The repo needs to opt in to participate to Hacktoberfest. Does it? I see. So not every repo counts. These are changes since this year because of spam. That makes sense. That makes sense. Makes sense. Makes a lot of sense. This is really all you need. So we need. Well, how can we do this? Let's see if we could just make a quick addition here. Because say, look, I want everything that's not in. That does not have the following prefix. So yeah, let's do that. I mean, I could just combine. I mean, it wouldn't be the fastest, most efficient way, but what I could do is I could like throw that in, combine it, and then do unique on the files, and then just stick with the files that are unique. If they're not unique, well, actually no, because I'd have to do a sed filter. Now, actually, I can think of a million ways to do this in Shell right now, and I'm really fighting back the urge to do that. All we really need to do is change these finds and then pipe them into exception list. In fact, I think find already has an exceptions syntax in it, and I haven't. I mean, find is one of those commands that nobody ever fully understands. And the more people who understand, I have worked with professional system administrators who had no idea find existed. And they were in their 40s. I kid you not. And I was like, how have you been doing your job without find? So NE-T, blah, 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 fs type, find it. So it's one of those commands that's like its own command unto itself, kind of like GPG. Let's see, day start, measure times, no, follow, deprecated, no. Test which appear on it, it's coming on, use blah, blah, blah. Oh, so I guess we could do follow and have it just keep telling us what's new. Last week with typos because of this event, really? Maybe that's why I got so many Golang project things. I think I opened up. I just noticed I got 3 issues on the Go thing. Somebody was asking me if it was an open source project, and I'm like, aha. I was like, now I'm starting to put it all together. These are mine though. These are all mine. So I didn't get a random. I didn't get around it. That's all. These all been closed. I gotta close those. Not right now though. Procrastinate. That's interesting, Payne. I mean, because you're all over those open source projects. I'm wondering if we can do the exceptions list. There's got to be an exceptions thing already in Find. If there is, we are good to go. Max depth, no. Ignore, read erase, no. No leaf, no. Mount, no. Don't descend into mounted file systems because that would like slam your NFS if you're still using that back in the day. Min depth, no. Internal before he found out about tab completion. Oh my god. Do you see why I want to make more content about this? About terminal proficiency is the word we'll use. Because people don't know. Mac is like a rock star of a C coder, and he never knew about set-ovi, even though he's a big VI user. You know, I'm not picking on him. I'm just saying, yeah, it's like I had a couple of people look. 3 months ago, I discovered CD path because I was trying to see if Bash had the same thing Z Shell had. Never known about it. Use it every day now, and it's not documented anywhere. It's because it's kind of controversial, but no more controversial than a regular path as far as I'm concerned. I knew Min Su Newer. I'm not seeing anything here in Find that would allow me to provide an exceptions list. That's what I want now. And obviously, I can just pipe it into a thing that compares my exceptions list. I can even do it just, with Unique. I talked about that. But I'm looking for something that is in... I could do a not regex. You can do not predicates with Find. Yeah, you can... Find is an entire language, man. Find is... You know what? Oh... You know what? Oh my gosh. You know what? I just got another idea. I have to write this down. Why does this not exist? We need a find replacement. Or find that with a good query language. The find command, oopsie, I am not typing very well. The find command is a, oh, you found it? Dash iname dash f iname dash txt not iname dot find txt but ignores all dot files. Yes. The problem is that we need to derive that we need to derive the list of files from a file. And I'm almost positive it exists. Essential tool for system administration. Particularly disk usage and security audits. But the syntax of the arguments has always been ridiculously difficult to remember, requiring multiple references to the man page. Wouldn't it be cool? Wouldn't it be cool if we came up with a find replacement that had a drop dead simple query language that it read either as a single string or passed into standard output, or just placed in a file with a shebang line pointing to it. It would essentially be a link. It would be, let's see, it's not essentially, it would be an actual language for finding things on your system. No, not like awk or said. All right, so okay, good resources for Golang. No, actually, the answer is no. Not for a beginner. I'm sorry. I hate saying that. I want to make one. I actually talked about it in the books I want to author. Here is my list of all the resources I've gathered. I'm not saying any of them are particularly good. A lot of them are really out of date. I started to review them all. It just really depends on what you're trying to get out of a language. If you already have coding experience, if you already have coding experience, let's see, for what do you want to use Go? There you go. That's a good question. My standard suggestion is quite simply, go read the spec. If you have any coding experience at all, so the answer to the question, is there any good resources for a beginner to learn programming for the first time and Go as their first language? The answer is absolutely not. There are none. But if your question is, I already know how to code and I want to learn how to do Go a lot, then writing examples for my juniors that need to use Go Git extensively. Interesting. Go Git. Well, I tell you what, this is my standard recommendation, and I really believe reading the spec. The spec is not that hard to grok. If you know EBNF, which you should, you can read it, and it has the entire spec of the language here. It's not by example. It's like the actual spec. It's like telling somebody to read the man page for Bash, right? But I still believe in that. I believe the best place to get, there's things in the man page, such as CD path, that I have never read about anywhere else, not on any website, not in, there's like, parameter expansion, not covered anywhere in Bash. And the same goes for Go. The Go specification has things that you might not know. It has things about profiling that I did not know about. Juniors are lazy, and I get, yeah, your juniors are lazy. I think the best thing to do is to send them to TourGo, which obviously I hate because this is it. It needs JavaScript to run it. And it's also really annoying. Beginners hate it. Because, and then there's how to write Go and effective Go. Effective Go is really important. This is really good at giving you a sense of like the styles and the idioms from Go. Don't repeat yourself and blah, blah, blah. But all this stuff in the Go world is basically like it's been written by C coders. And so they expect you to know C already, and that really annoys me. There's Head First Go, which Head First Go is not too bad. The problem is it's ancient. This is like ancient. And when I was reading the specific, there's stuff in there that you just will find. I tell the people that too, to go to the WhatWG if they want to learn HTML. Go learn it from WhatWG, which has examples. Yeah. So the problem with all the books is they try to eliminate the stuff that they don't think is important, and almost always that's a bad idea, because that's eventually you're gonna need it, and you don't ever come around to getting it. So this book is very approachable and fun and everything. And I own it. It's also inverted right now because I have dark mode on. But I'm using MU PDF. And this, I like the approach of the book. This is what they're talking about right now. But you get back to the end here, and this is, go syntax, go playground, do this, right? The problem is that it doesn't it's a nice, happy introduction. The problem is it doesn't talk about Go mod at all, because it's like teaching you Go 112, I think 111, and there hasn't been a new one out, and we're up to 1.15 now, and Go mod is a massive change. I did a video on it, so it's still one of my biggest hits on YouTube about how to set up a Go project properly, because nobody tells you how to do it. Effective Go does. Effective Go tells you how to do it right. The Effective Go updated itself. I'm going to go ahead and save this. Give me a second. My AcknowledgeNet build routine, which is something I still need to build out. This is supposed to be a Nark Tripwire thing. I'm actually going to go ahead and shut down this video and restart it. So stay with me. I'm not going to go anywhere. I just need to retitle the video and stuff so that we can have a good break, a nice logical break. And so I'm just going to save this here. Find replacement idea. I'm just publishing my wish list changes for the other thing. And you asked about the Go sources. So the first hour of doing things to Go. Yeah, well, and you should, right? I teach Go mod very first. And it's like, well, do I need it? Yes, you do. Don't try to do anything without Go mod. I mean, it should be the first thing everybody does, even if you don't think you need it. And I refuse to teach, oh, here's the simple, happy way to do it, like go run, go main, go this, because it doesn't stick with you. And then something that works like package.json in Node. Well, they have that, right? That's what that is. I don't like package.json at all. It's actually one of Brian Dahl's #1 regrets about Node. So yeah, make sure you understand replace, by the way. That took me 6 hours to find, and when I found it, I was like rejoicing, and I teach it to everybody first thing because it's not covered. Replace is what saves you when you're working on two things at the same time, or you're working on private repos, or you're working on Git repos that aren't published and all this stuff, and you don't want to use the caching server. There's lots of ways around the caching server, but the easiest way around the caching server is to use Go mod replace. Just make sure you don't save it in your final project, because it'll force everybody else to use your locations, your local locations for your additional packages that are listed in your require list for Go mod. And if you don't have that, then it will break. And it's actually an open bug in Go, which I've complained about extensively. It has no business. Replace has no business being in go.mod. It should have been in some other file that can be added to a git ignore, but somebody made a really dumb decision there. And they kept it in anyway. So if you're looking for a book, this is a good one. Yes, it's very junior. It's very fun. It's very Mickey Mouse. People will feel like, oh, I refuse to, I don't, why are they teaching reflection also? I mean, I just don't get why they're teaching reflection in the first chapter. And it's like, you shouldn't be using reflection anyway. But whatever. I do like the approach of this book better than all the other books for beginners. The problem is it doesn't cover Go 1.13. It's also, you got to pay for it, So yeah, here, just running through it right now. Valid operations. Do this. Go to golang.org, which isn't even a thing anymore. No, I'm sorry. GoDoc is not a thing anymore. That's moved. There's a new site for that. If you're gonna, this is another thing that the book doesn't take into account. The #1 first place to go if you want to learn Go is go.dev. All right. Go.dev is the major source for all things learning about Go. Go.dev is like the new home to take. Yeah. At least read it first. Yeah. I'm not touching the reflect package, man, and ever. And that's why I don't use JSON tags anymore in structs, because I refuse to use reflect unless I have to, and it's just some quick and dirty thing. I would rather write my own marshalling from now on. I hate it. Sorry. If you made it or you're responsible for it or you like it, I apologize. I am done with reflect. Any way I can get it. Somebody was telling me that Switch uses reflect. Quint, do you know? Oh, Quint, we had one of the Go compiler team from Google on the stream the other day. Yeah, I hope he comes back. He's a really nice dude. Yeah, he started streaming on Twitch too. Like he's got like 4 streams up on Twitch. I don't know, but I want to think that I might have inspired him to start streaming, because he's been streaming about some of his compiler stuff. He's been working on compiler issues. Yeah. Anyway, so if you want to learn Go, this is the place to go. Ha! Oh my God. I actually said that. Eastside Go Coffee. I mean, this is just the community kind of portal. Guess what? Uh-oh. Are you working at Google and you're on the Go team too? Your name is Diego? Are you the same one? Diego. I should probably know who you are, but I don't. Should I know you? Dan Diego? Are you the same person? Or just with a different account? I'm sorry, I don't know all the names. I know like the big names, but I'm not that into the Go community to know. I'm sorry, I apologize if I don't know you. I'll look you up. Bothers me to go. Oh, because you're Diego? I see. Okay, I gotcha. The Dora song? I love the Dora song. My wife has Dora on all the time. My stepson's 21 years old. She still plays Dora. Find the map. Every time I have to work with Golang maps, I start singing the Dora song. Find the map. I love it. That is a good thing. It's a positive thing. You know what else I put on sometimes? I might actually put it on if it wasn't going to get a copyright strike. I put, oh God, why am I spacing on the name? Teletubbies. I refuse to put Barney on, but I will put Teletubbies on. My wife will put Teletubbies on. There's like no reason at all. We're all like, I'm in my 50s. My wife's got Teletubbies on the TV. In an age of like massive social dystopia, what's a little Teletubbies gonna hurt, right? Anyway, it's probably time, now that I'm talking about Teletubbies, it's definitely time for me to conclude this segment of the stream. I'm going to go grab some coffee and come back and do some more pagan programming. If you want to get going and go.dev. Tripwire is a thing. Here it is, Tripwire on GitHub /Tripwire. Apparently the open source version is still there. It's just been hiding. The Teletubbies segment, yes. Tripwire-open-source is still a thing, even though it's in C++ and it needs to be. It's got a C-lang here format. That makes me interested. So they've been playing with that, and then I do want to rewrite that as Nark, and we just realized we probably want to rewrite the find command as well, and we may actually already have something to cover what I started getting into, which is, how do you find out when something's changed on your system? And here I am. I'm going to do changed again. Look at all these files that have changed since the last time. So I need to add exceptions to that. I probably could add that to a shell script. Sounds like a weekend project. Find replacement wish. Just an idea that popped in my mind. Since you're working on a large data set, would SQL be a bad choice for searching a file system? Something like select file name, file, blah, 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 blah. No, that sounds like a great idea. In fact, Peter, why make a new language, right? Peter, you might be onto something there. We need to stick together. If you can work on a weekend, we should do a hackathon on that. What if all we did is we just made a SQLite file, right? What if we, instead of doing find, what if we just did a SQLite file and just, did the same? We basically leveraging this. Look at all the SQLite that Mozilla uses. So we have these little flat file databases, and we use an existing query language, and we create the domain fields for it. And if people already know SQL, they have to learn a new language. You're a genius, Peter. Peter, you're a genius. You're a genius. I would give you a genius credits if I could do that right now. The modern definition of the word genius. My autistic stepson has told me that the word genius does not mean somebody who's really smart. I do. I like that idea a lot. Because why invent something new when you don't have to? But what we don't have is what we could do. You know what? You're going to make me write this down, aren't you? Yes, I have to write it down or I forget it because I'm 52 and my brain doesn't work. It's like I forget shit. Your brain is the only thing you have to remember is how to get to the library. Albert Einstein. He was the one who told me that. Somebody on the stream told me that. So the only thing I have to remember is how to search and write stuff down. That's all I have to remember. a replacement for find with a good query language. Okay, that has a drop dead simple query language, maybe even just SQL. Okay, so one approach could be simply to create SQLite flap database files and a light weight interface to them, so that existing SQL tools could be used. That's really the way to go, I think. Imagine Locate might actually do something like that already, but it's old. It's this pre-SQLite. So, I mean, this is something that could be done rather quickly by having different SQLite. By having different SQLite files created. Let's see. Queries could be made across databases, or could they? Across databases to determine changes in the files, in the file system. Yep, I like that idea a lot. We got to really think about that. Why is JPL3 so controversial? I spent, you have to go dig through the files. I refuse to tag my videos. They're just too fucking hard to do. But I talked about that a lot on, when was that, guys? I think that was Sunday. GPL3 is controversial because it's not a software license. In short, that's the short and long and short of it. It has nothing to do with software anymore. I mean, it's related to software, but GPL3 became a hardware license and snuck itself in as a software license. That's why. That's why Linus Torvalds hates it. That's why I hate it. And so that's all I'm going to say about that. I agree 1,000% with Linus Torvalds on that. I actually talk about that. You can go watch the whole video. One of my videos is the one that got a copyright strike. The one that's got me watching Linus Torvalds, that's the one where we talk about that all day. We get really into it. Yeah, I'm not going to repeat that here. I'm going to go ahead and log off. But I think we have an idea for our new Tripwire replacement. You know why? Because think about this. Our Tripwire replacement could just create a SQLite file that's got a bunch of data points in it. Peter, if you're still with me. And these two ideas could kind of be meshed together. And you could create, all we have to do is just model the domain really well, right? And because these files are being rewritten all the time, that you get one file per scan, so to speak. We don't have all the the big considerations we'd have to have for maintaining a data store and all that. We can just throw it away. In other words, we wouldn't have to maintain a data model between things because there's a good chance that the SQLite file is going to get discarded anyway. The point being that you could have something that assesses your system and builds a database as SQLite at regular intervals, right? And then you could create other front ends that compare those things. And so we can actually implement our Tripwire as a SQLite database. And we can prototype the whole thing in Python or Shell. You don't even really need to do that in Go or Rust or whatever. That's not, you know what? The more I think about that project, the more I think about how fun that would be to bottle up as a walkthrough project where you can help somebody. It's so much fun to make something significant while you're learning how to code. I mean, I don't think anybody here disagrees with that. And when it's something that actually is of that a really great thing about a project like Nark like this is that it's small enough to be attainable for someone who's just learning to code, and yet it's useful enough to be cool enough to motivate you to do it if you want to do this kind of stuff. So, TJ Hollowaychuk and others have suggested the best way to learn is to go rip apart an existing project that's been written by people you trust and respect and look at how they coded it. That's actually, the best way to learn. sort of hands-on learning, but you got to have a comprehensive angle on it as well. But this is one of those great projects. So I'm just pausing for a second to just realize what a great project it would be. What a great project! What a great project this is for learning a specific language as well. It's practical, relatively simple. It's practical, uses tech and techniques that are relevant, and it's relatively simple to implement. Why are you not happy? Did I spell you wrong? Langage. There we go. And you're also not happy because you're spelled with an E. I see. Okay. I started 6 months ago, and the CEO of the company put me in charge of the Git integration of his application. Interesting. That's pretty nice. It's pretty cool. It's a great project. I do not. I think you should not use anything with GPL3. I strongly believe that. I believe that you will hamper your adoption, particularly in an age that is becoming more and more embedded. And you are making decisions for the hardware manufacturers that are not your business because you're creating software. That's my short answer. And that is exactly the same position as Linus Torvalds. I completely 1,000% agree with him. Then don't use it. Do not use it. I'm telling you, unless you are, if any of that software ever touches a piece of hardware for a vendor, to use GoGet, libgit, it does, really? Wow, interesting. Yeah, I didn't know that. Yep, it's funny. Dan, stay tuned because I'm gonna be back in the Git land here pretty soon because another project I want to get to eventually is, if I ever get to, I gotta kill this stream so I can start back up and work on my Pagan project. But I want to do the Gits. I want a tool that talks to all the Git sources, and it talks GraphQL. It has all the same stuff as Hub. Did you see that Hub, the GitHub command line tool, is all GraphQL and it's written in Go? Yeah, I mean, I'm sure you know a lot too. So, but yeah, hang out with us. I'm not gonna be doing anything with Git recent, but I'm gonna return. I'm gonna start doing some stuff with the API. Eventually, I need to get doing more of the Go API stuff for GraphQL and GitLab. I wrote a simple little thing called Gits just to delete repos on GitLab for right now. But and I'm not using, the thing of it is I'm just using GraphQL directly. I'm not even using the Git interface, and so I don't know what kind of requirements you have there, but yeah, I haven't played with GoGit at all. It might be fun to play with. Anyway, let me go ahead and save this one. I need to rebuild that. Save, let's see. Learning project comment. My save is just a git push, git whatever, just shorthand for all that. The functional requirements of the Git integration. Yes, that would be fun. Yeah, I mean, you could. I don't know how much proprietary information you're able to discuss, but we have a Discord that's got a lot of very experienced people in there. I actually think there's a Git channel. Let me go check. Oh, that's not what I wanted. I don't think my Discord is open right now. Yeah, because I rebooted. Is it totally open source? Oh yeah, then hop in there and throw that out. There's got to be a Git channel in here, is there not? I would tell you something. I am the worst admin ever for Discord. I have no time to do anything in here. Who knows what people are saying in here? There could be massive racism, and I have no idea it's happening. I just can't spend time on it. I'm sorry. It's just way too much stuff. But I wanted to say that I had a Git channel in here. I guess I don't. I do. Yeah, there it is. So there's a Git channel. Oh, Hosky's in here. Nice. Honsky. He's been on our Twitch channel here talking to us. Copy. I'll give you guys a copy of that. How about that? So there's the Git invite if you want that. And with that, that's a good place for me to take a break. It's almost noon here. I'm gonna just take about a 5-10 minute break or something. I'm gonna come back and be doing more pagan coding. I'm gonna try to go fast on that. I inevitably get distracted. I just accept that, but that's what I'll be doing when I come back. I'm going to be working on pagan. Before I drop, I'm going to start my new habit of checking in with YouTube. See if we got any comments over here. I know I feel sorry for the YouTubers because I don't see them. Start my new habit of checking in. Yeah. Nope, nobody's there. I only have one. Oh, we got 8 people watching on YouTube. That's very nice. Thank you for watching, YouTube. Here's a shout out to you. I'm waving to you right now. You can't see, but and the Periscope people, which I seriously doubt there's anybody over there. I'm surprised though. I'm getting lots of viewers on Twitter. I was really surprised by that, and so just letting everybody know. Ooh, terminal apps, stateful terminal apps. No, you should use CView for that. I don't know what that is, but anyway. Do we have Periscope people? This number always goes up. So as soon as I've like actually published some things, it starts to come up. And then, oh wow, that got retweeted. That's scary. Where's my Periscope link? Am I still streaming? I guess I am. There's usually a Periscope link on here. You know what I'm saying? You guys know what I'm saying? You can go do the whole Periscope thing here. Where is it? You click here and it'll take you to Periscope. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. I promise I'm not going to do this every time. I just am trying to see if we're picking up. There's an API I need to make, an API tool that uses the WebSocket that Restream provides, so I can watch all my people. Hey, Austin. So, because there's nothing going on here. Apparently, though, the Restream has a lot of that. So yeah. Let me just got here. Is that linked to Nark? Google isn't coming up with anything because Nark just happened. Hi guys. Nark is a tool that we're going to make, and I just put it in the wish list. So let me just recap before I close, since everybody's just showing up. It says idea here. Let me just put that there. All right. So yeah, if you go to I almost don't want to say this on stream. I am extremely opinionated and personal in my blog. I don't even like calling it a blog. It's more personal notes. But I will go here because I have a wishes list right here. And my wishes list is 2 things came up from this video. 1, Nark, an open source Tripwire replacement idea. The original Tripwire seems to be alive and well, however, and this we found on the stream, by the way. I didn't find that before I started this video. However, it looks like it could use an update and perhaps a rewrite in a modern language like Go or Rust. I'd also like to focus on reporting aspect above all and add both inbound and outbound ports to the monitor to Nark on get it stuff that is not supposed to be on my system. This is how I caught the hacker from Amsterdam back in 2000. Any consideration would be the license change from GPL2 to Apache. That's another thing too. This could be a great project for learning as well, since it's relatively simple. In fact, we almost did the entire project just using find, and I'll give everybody another copy of the change script, which is the shell script that does essentially the same thing. It just timestamps everything that's changed. Watch, if I do it now, it'll only show me the files that have changed since the last run have changed, and that way you can kind of identify things. And that led to a conversation about how we could possibly create a SQLite database with all the data from find, because find is such a pain in the butt. And that was another wish I put here as a replacement for a good query language for find, which is always, a trip to the man page to understand it. And then somebody suggested, Peter, I think, that it should be SQLite, and we could go ahead and combine these 2 wishes and do that. So that's something I do plan to do. I did want to make a video on it because I want it done. I don't necessarily have time to do it right now. It would be a relatively fun project if somebody wants to do it, take it on. We checked out Nark is taken on GitHub and GitLab. Therefore, I did not choose to make a name for that. That was just a name that kind of fell out. I was really surprised there wasn't already a Nark tool. out there. But I like the name Nark. I would rather just type Nark, whatever. Again, Nark is just a blue team, and I like it too because it's kind of like, you know, you're a hacker and you have a Narc that's tattling on the other hackers who have hacked you. So, you know what I mean? It's like, I'm going to tell, you've been hacked, I'm going to tell on them, you know? So I kind of like it. It's easy to type. So somebody make it, please. Somebody beat me to it. It would not be that hard. All right, I'm going to put the fish on and go take a break. I will be back again. When I come back, I'm going to be working more on the parsing expression grammar notation. Pagan, it's a language, meta language. Go to pagan.dev if you want to know. I should be less than 15, 20 minutes. All right. Talk to you.